Hi folks, it's Amy and I just wanted to get you started with Photoshop and what the next steps will be. Throughout this video, I'm going to show you where you can look for announcements and helpful tips, show you what will happen in Blackboard and where you'll access the assignments, and then quickly and briefly I'll show you the interface of Photoshop. Some of the biggest issues that we're going to have is probably getting everyone access to the software. Excuse me. This week, I sent you out some options in this welcome email about how you're going to get the software. And if you can just let me know through Blackboard or a quick email of how you're going to access the software, that would be fantastic. I still don't have any news on the WITC remote server as to whether or not that will be an option for you to use this semester. So you can purchase it through the Emergent website, or you can utilize the Adobe Creative Cloud educational pricing. And as always, you can come to a lab on campus and access the software that way. So to begin, you're going to go into the course and you're going to click Course Assignments, and we'll start there. You probably have already worked on the class preview and introduction assignment. Those are pretty straightforward. Next, you're going to be taking a look, excuse me, at the textbook, and it looks like this. And you'll be utilizing that along with some data files to get started. Chapter 1 is pretty simplistic in that it's just going to walk you through what to do and what the interface looks like. There's going to be a section on Bridge. Many of you won't have access to that. You can read about it, but don't worry about doing any assignments or working that way through it. All the assignments typically will have student data files to start you off with, and I've put them here out in Blackboard. And it's just going to open up here. These are the data files. There really aren't any in Chapter 1, so I'm just going to unzip Chapter 2. These will be zipped files, folders, because they're large. You'll see I'm using Google Chrome. They come down to the bottom. I click on that, and the files are now here. So I'm just going to open up a file for you to see. Now, my Photoshop opened up pretty quickly. It's because I previously had it open. I've changed the interface so the welcome screen is no longer there. You can do that in Preferences, which is found under Edit, okay, right down here. And the other thing that I did is I went to the interface and I changed it to font size large and the scaling to 200%. That's what's making my screen a little bit bigger. Yours might be smaller, and that's okay. So a few things here that I want to talk to you about the layout and what they'll be calling the different things. On page 17 in your textbook, it has a figure 14, and it tells you all about these various items up here. So up on the top, we have the menu bar. You can click these items, and it's very similar to the Office products. What's very tricky about Photoshop, everything has more. These are your tools over here on the left-hand side. They call that um, uh, the tools panel. Up here will show you what tool you're currently using. Okay, this area is your options bar, and that changes as you change the various tools. Within these tools, there's a little triangle there, very hard to see, but if you click that, you can go to other tools, so they're hidden there. This whole area on your screen is a workspace, and you can change workspaces by coming over here. You can come to your window and change your workspaces, and this is your way that you like to work. So typically when I'm in here, I will be using typography. You can make your own workspace. They'll walk you through that eventually. Next, you're going to have your image here, and you'll know that I have my ruler on, and I am also measuring in inches, not pixels. Sometimes it's very difficult for students to understand that, okay, this is a 4.5 by 3.5 inch image. Sometimes people think it's a lot bigger, and that can be a mistake because if it's a lot smaller and then you try to blow it up, it can pixelate at times and it won't be a crisp image. Over here on the right hand side, these are your panels, and you'll do different things with these panels. So when I start to work and edit a paragraph, if I have text, I can indent it, do all different types of things. The panels that you have listed here are kind of like the tabs like you would do in a browser, and there's more options. These three little bars, tons of options. Under Window, once again, we have all kinds of panels that you will use. The panels that are currently open are checkmarked, and you'll utilize those. The other panel that I use quite a bit is the history panel. This allows you kind of to quickly undo. So if you've really messed up an image, you can go up and down the list that you'll have, and you can use the history panel to get back to the beginning. Now, layers. You can toggle layers on and off. This one is locked because it's the background. Um, and I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but layers are the most important part of Photoshop. In these specific layers, you can make edits, kind of like a submarine sandwich. So if I would just want to do something to the lacrosse player here in the black, let's say I want to make his jersey red instead of purple, I would do that on its own layer. And that way I'm building this image, this composite image considered or comprised of all these layers or pieces of a sub sandwich to make the overall whole. So layers are a wonderful, wonderful thing. Again, in this chapter, they're going to tell you a little about Adobe Bridge. That's a way that you can organize and open files and whatnot. A lot of students don't have access to Bridge with how they purchase the software. So you can just read about it and you can just move forward. Don't worry if there's any part of an assignment or something like that to worry about. All right, so that's a brief introduction into Photoshop. Take a look at the first chapter and you will work through the various lessons, reading and going through the steps. If you have questions or if you have concerns on how to get the software, please feel free to contact me. Have a great day.